Hi, I'm Anya. I'm a part of the Serious Games with AI course, and I chose to return to BWSI as a research student because I really enjoyed my course last year, and I learned a lot of important concepts and their applications. So I thought it would be a great idea to return to BWSI this summer and just help pass on what I learned last year to the new students this year. And then being able to do a research project was also a big added bonus. So this summer, I worked on using AI to improve course lectures by creating additional practice materials for any students struggling with certain topics, and generally just trying to make lectures more engaging for the students. Specifically, I used Claude, which is an AI software, to create new Jupyter notebooks with reinforcement learning exercises. And my ultimate goal was to create an average difficulty Jupyter notebook that students would be able to use to practice their understanding of reinforcement learning concepts if they were struggling to understand RL or just wanted to use it more. And this connects to the work I did in my original BWSI summer last year because I'm a part of the Serious Games with AI course, and that course focuses a lot on AI like CNNs and reinforcement learning. And also for my group project last summer, I was mostly responsible for coding, training, and testing our reinforcement learning model. And while I was doing this last year, I noticed specifically that when I used the RL, I faced challenges with some bugs in my code that took time to resolve, which is why I think it's so important for people to have extra practice with RLs, especially since they can be such a very big component in a group's project. And so my current research extends my prior work by using AI to help other students learn reinforcement learning more effectively and apply their knowledge to the course. The problem that my research aims to address is how to provide better practice materials for students who may struggle with certain concepts. Like our existing lecture notebook for RL is great, but optional extra practice with exercises at the right and optimal level of difficulty is always something students can find helpful. So I wanted to use AI to fill any gaps in students' knowledge. So in my research, I primarily used Claude, which I mentioned before is an AI model, and the course's existing RL notebook as a good starting point. And basically, I experimented with giving Claude and at some other points, other AI tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini, different prompts worded in specific, unique ways to get the AI to generate any new relevant exercises that made sense. And I also did some of the exercises the AI generated myself to ensure the activities matched the difficulty level I wanted and focused on solely RL concepts because, as most people who use AI know, it can sometimes go off track. And I did have some challenges in my project. One challenge I faced was that the AI often generated content that was either way too easy or way too hard, and there was never really any middle ground. And sometimes it would even add irrelevant content that wasn't related to RL at all. And it continued to do this even when I instructed it to get rid of the irrelevant content. But I was able to fix this problem by making my prompts a lot more specific, and I had to guide the AI step by step on what to include, and I had to specify like the exact content I wanted the Jupyter notebook to have. And like my breakthrough really came through when I was finally able to generate a notebook that had the best level of difficulty and most relevance to RL after maybe like 40 to 50 different prompts. And knowing how to prompt the AI to give me the results I wanted was a really important skill I learned during this project. I realized that the quality of the AI's output depends a lot on how clearly and specifically I communicated what I wanted to it. And I needed to provide the AI like the exact content I wanted to see in the Jupyter notebook, along with like very specific examples of what it should look like. And I also had to keep reminding it to stick to RL and not to add anything irrelevant to the notebook. And then this whole process just helped me refine the AI's responses, and I ultimately got a much better final project. And I think this research matters because it shows how AI can be used to create educational materials to make learning more effective without instructors having to do a lot of extra work. And like students who struggle with RL or honestly any topic in the course could benefit from having these additional appropriate exercises that match their level of understanding. And I think overall, this experience showed me how AI and STEM can come together to solve problems in education. And I think it also deepened my interest in wanting to explore more ways that AI can help people learn difficult concepts. And I mean, if I have the opportunity to continue developing the project, I would love to, and I would be interested in exploring ways to enhance other course lectures to make them more engaging and also to improve learning. And I would probably also explore how AI could help create like interactive side activities that students could complete for fun that's separate from the project. And overall, I think BWSI helped me a lot as a researcher. I mean, like last year, BWSI introduced me to a lot of new concepts and skills, like I talked about earlier. And the project we worked on was a great project. It was super fun and informative, gave me a lot of hands-on experience with concepts like reinforcement learning, GitHub, and Unity. And I mean, like as a researcher, BWSI provided me an opportunity to research a topic I was genuinely interested in, which is something I probably wouldn't have pursued otherwise. And I also really appreciated the guidance provided by my instructor, which allowed me to just like overall further my research. And I think this experience can also really help me in the future because in the future I want to be working in a field related to AI, using it to like apply it to real world, solve real world problems. And so the research I did this summer was super valuable to me because it allowed me to just like generally dive deeper into AI concepts and understand how AI works, which is something that will definitely help me in the future. Thank you for listening.